Good morning, everybody. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in Central California. Coming to you this morning from a place I don't normally come to. Well, I don't come here very often. It's not that I don't want to, it's just these folks are pretty low need. Things don't break for them very much, and they don't, I don't know. Some users are just very high maintenance, and these guys are very low maintenance. So I'm here in audiology this morning, and we have the audiology test booths. They got you get the little booth in here, lights off right now, but that's where the patient sits who's having the test. And then we have the tester's booth with all of this stuff. And I'll just stay lingering on it for a little bit in case you're curious and looking at it. I don't know what it does. I can't explain its operation. I'm very sorry. Not that kind of a network admin. But what I'm here today to do is, look at this guy. We've got a Cisco mini hub. It's been here a while. It's a 100 meg. Yeah. 100 meg. So I'm replacing that with a switch. Number one, I don't like mini hubs. I don't like these little mini switches. They're not manageable. They're too easy to loop. And I don't really like what I have to do is putting a switch in here, but there's really no other alternatives. This is an old building, and I would just tell them to use wireless. One problem. This whole wing right here, this darkened wing, this is our old radiology area. They still teach radiology classes here. All of these walls are lined with lead to keep the x-rays out or in. So yeah, that wireless ain't gonna work in here. It doesn't work. Everywhere they need wireless, I have to put an AP in that actual room. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take this switch over here. This is the switch I am replacing that mini hub with. I can pick it up here. This guy, just a 12 port, it's the smallest I have. So I am going to replace that mini hub with this guy. And man, the acoustics in here are really nice, huh? Should be. It's got all this sound deadening material right there. So first thing I did yesterday is I used this guy, and I'm not going to do a whole spiel on it right now because I've already done this. But I used my Link Runner AT2000, available from NetAlley. They are not sponsors. They don't pay me any money. I just like this. This is just an awesome little gizmo. So I'm trying to see if it has its. There you go. That's what it is. Ooh, infinity reflections. That's what it is. So I'm gonna go put this back out there. I used that to determine where I was plugged in out there. So I got the switch in the port I'm gonna be plugging into. Why is that important? Because right now only data and voice VLANs are, one data, one voice VLAN is tagged on that port. And I'm gonna have to put 3 VLANs on that port, data, voice, and the management VLAN for this switch. So, all right, I'm gonna get started here. So first thing I'm gonna do is just find a good place for the switch. I'm thinking, right down here. I'm gonna shuffle some of those toys around and plug this in. And I'm gonna try to find a better place to plug it in than that power strip down there, but I might not have any other options. I don't know, we'll see. And it is freezing in here. I don't know why they keep it so cold. All right, I'm gonna put you on pause for just a minute while I shuffle some things around. All right, so what I've done is I have put the switch down here, I plugged it in. There really isn't any really good power options here, but I found another power strip that's at least mounted up on the wall, and it doesn't have a on-off switch, so I plugged my switch into that one. There is no redundant power in this room, so you know, if they lose power, they lose power. Can't really help them. And no, I'm not going to put a whole UPS in this tiny little booth, which barely has room for anybody anyway. So that's in there. I'm on the upstream switch that this is going to plug into, and I have added the management VLAN to the list of tagged VLANs here. And I had to use a wired adapter because there, as I said already, there is no wireless in here. So so the management VLAN is tagged on the upstream port. The voice VLAN is tagged on the upstream port. Now I have to tag the data VLAN on the upstream port, and when I do that, I'm going to lose connection here. So I'm just double checking to make sure I got everything right. I know what my uplink port is there. Should be all correct. We'll find out. So here I go. I'm going to change the tagging. Config VLAN blah blah blah. Add port. That one tagged. I've got my extreme switch is set to auto move VLANs. When I assign it to a new VLAN, I don't have to unassign it from the old VLAN. I just tell it the new one I want it in there, and it'll auto move it over. It doesn't do that by default. At least the firmware versions I've been using didn't do that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Do you really want to add these ports? Yes. Okay, I added the port. I've lost connection, so now I need to plug this in, and we'll see if that works. So what I'm going to do is this. Let me see it. This middle connection here is the one that goes up to the upstream switch. So let me get down here, because you guys seem to like to watch this stuff. Can you see it? Yeah, so this is the switch here. And the very last port there is my uplink. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to feel really stupid if this doesn't work. Just troubleshoot this in front of everybody. Looking like an idiot. But it happens. I'm used to looking like an idiot. Happens all the time. And you know what? It may have disabled that port because I may not have turned that into a point-to-point link in my spanning tree algorithm. So I'm going to put you on hold for just a minute while I go out to the closet and check on things. Be right back. All right, when we last left our intrepid network admin, he had made a blunder. So now we can see, hopefully you can see the link light flashing over there? Yeah, that wasn't flashing before. And yes, I will show you why. Because I forgot something. No, don't do that. I'll scroll up here if I can without revealing too much of my internal network. Let me read through this, make sure I am not divulging anything. Yeah, I don't think so. So what I did is I went out to the hallway and checked the switch that we're plugged into, and the port was disabled. Well, why was it disabled, you might ask? Spanning tree was doing its job. So let's see if I can point it out here. Yeah, so right here, port 19 was link type edge. I had edge safeguard enabled on it, and I had BPDU restrict enabled on it. So if it gets any BPDUs on that port, boom, turns it off. So what I did was I disabled edge safeguard, disabled BPDU restrict, and set it to type point to point instead of type edge. So spanning tree reconfigure seemed to do the trick. Okay, so that switch, let me make sure I can ping it. Hang on a second here. Sorry for the funny camera angle and all that, but this, like I said, cramped. Ping yep, I can ping that. Okay, now I'm gonna plug the other cables in and see what we got. So basically, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take these other two, where is it? Take these other two cables and plug them in down there. And as fascinating as that is to watch, I'm just gonna put you on pause for just a second. All right, well, that's that. I logged into this machine. It was really slow. I wanted to log into her machine, her workstation here, just to make sure everything was working fine. It is. So I'm going to sign out. Get out of here, get out of here. Sign out. Then she can come in and sign in. So the other thing I found, help desk guys be better. So there's a printer back here. This printer here, this one, see it? Was also plugged into the same little mini hub. Those mini hubs don't do tagging, right? You plug them in and just whatever port they're on, that's what's going to appear on, that's the VLAN that's going to appear on all those ports on the mini hub. This PC and this printer are on two different VLANs. And that one never going to work. So I don't know what wasn't working here, but the help desk guy did not give me the full story. So maybe he wasn't aware that some of this wasn't working. Kind of doubt it. He said this mini hub's been here forever. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, the power cord does go under some boxes, so it does look like it's been here a while. I don't see how this printer ever could have worked, because when I plugged it into the new switch, I couldn't ping it till I added the new VLAN to this switch, and then I could ping it. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna unplug this guy right here, and the new switch is cleverly hidden down there. It's out of their way. Got toys all around it, so they should be good. And I'm gonna wrap this one up. So if you like what you saw, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, thumbs up, thumbs down if so moved. Send me prayer requests, and you can always be praying for me. I don't have anything specific right now, but just in general. So as always, guys, we'll catch you next week. God bless.